Welcome to International Securities Exchange's podcast series. Facilitated by renowned educators, ISE podcasts are intended to teach beginning as well as seasoned investors the ins and outs of trading. To find an updated list of podcasts, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts. Please be sure to listen to our important message following this episode regarding the risks of investing in exchange-traded options.
Hi everyone, this is Eleni Levine from the ISC. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We're very pleased to have with us again Jack Crooks, founder and president of Black Swan Capital, an independent advisory firm specializing in foreign exchange and currency markets, investing for both retail and institutional investors. Jack has already presented on a number of key topics, which are accessible in our webinar archives at www.isc.com/archives. So definitely check all the topics out. A seasoned financial advisory with nearly 20 years of investment experience, Jack uses both quantitative and qualitative approaches to determining what's driving movements in the currency, capital, and commodities markets. Jack is also the co-editor of the Black Swan Currency Strategist and Black Swan's free daily e-letter called Currency Currents. Jack also founded Ross International Asset Management, a discretionary money management firm specializing in global stocks, bonds, and currency asset management for retail clients. And prior to that, he was the general manager of Plexus Trading, where he specialized in currency futures and commodities trading. He also served as chief currency and futures strategist at M2 Futures, an investment boutique headquartered in Chicago, as well as vice president of global strategic research for an international investment boutique, where he was responsible for providing daily advice and global strategy analysis. Jack's written extensively on the subject of global currencies and international economics and has been published in Asian Times, Futures magazines, Barron's, Bloomberg, Dow Jones Newswire, just to name a few, and also across financial websites. He's also appeared on Bloomberg TV, CNBC, and Fox Business News. So I'm going to turn it over to Jack.
Thank you, Elena. I appreciate it. And again, thank you to ISC for allowing me to make these presentations and hopefully share some ideas that make some sense and are helpful and useful to you in your currency trading, and really show how, in particular, why the ISC FX options we think is a great product that fits into any program in currencies. If you're looking for some intermediate to long-term type of trading with this product, the ISC options product has, it's really established as any options product is. I mean, they look just like a stock option. So if you're familiar with stock options, you can trade the currency options. One of my goals on these presentations is really just to give you a look at the currency side of the fence and just to show you how currencies may move differently. But your option strategies that you can use in the ISC FX product are the same you can use on any option strategies. I tend to like them for the intermediate to longer term setups, and it definitely meshes with our fundamental approach, which I'm going to lay out today. And in our approach today that I'm going to show you, this really is what we use on a regular basis. When I say we, John Ross and I, John Ross is my son. He does a lot of research here and a lot of writing, and we really have fallen to this approach. We think it's fairly straightforward, pretty easy to understand, and today I'm just going to try and give you an overview of that, so maybe you can look at this and fit this into something that you use, but also just try and emphasize that number one, it's a very doable approach, and really helps keep you in the ballpark of what's hot and what's not out there in the currency markets. Number two, easy to do, I guess, and I guess the third point is, and it goes with everything in currency investment or any investment, there's no holy grail here. It's about really doing your homework every day and doing it in some systematic framework. And I think if you think about the fundamental approach in that terms of doing your blocking and tackling, of reading, and just your basic global analysis every day, you'll really be stunned how fast you can start to catch on to the global macro and start to follow these these major trends, which ultimately major trends in capital flow is what drives currencies, and that's why we think the fundamental approach is so important. So let me get to it and stop all the introduction blabbing here. It's our disclaimer. And again, as I said, these are the ISE FX options. The symbols there, as you can see, the 6 major currencies traded now in the ISE FX options product. The symbol there on the right, you can put those into your standard, any of your brokerage platforms, and you'll get your options chain just as you would in any stock option or any index options chain. The beauty, again, of this product, number one, it's in very, very bite sizes, so to speak, for the retail investor. He doesn't have to put up $10,000 to control one option. These options may be priced $50 out to a couple $100, maybe more. It depends on how much you want to be in the money or out of the money, that type of thing. But they're very affordable, and all types of time frames. Very decent number of strike prices. You can go out as far as 10 months on these, and the ability to go out 10 months on options like this, and you know exactly what your risk is if you buy a put or buy a call, and then just sit there and let these fundamentals play out. That's really a nice thing to have, as opposed to trading in the spot or straight futures markets. Trading with incredible leverage, having to have stops, having to watch your positions all the time. Again, you can do that in the spot and futures, but you have to trade with very, very low leverage, and you have to really pay attention. Where if you buy a put or buy a call on the ISE FX option, and your macro or fundamental view plays out over a couple months, and you have a 6-month, 8-month put or call on, and it starts to play out, you're buying yourself time to let that play out, you'll really be surprised how well you can do with these options, and that's exactly how we use those. And I will get to the questions, as many as I can, towards the end here as soon as I'm done. I don't think I'll be too long on the presentation today, and again, if you think of questions along the way, just go ahead and type those into your screen. Before I decided, let me go back. Let me skip forward real quick to this slide and I'll back up. But as I looked at the presentation today, as I gave to Ilinet, I thought this would be a better place to start. This really is the framework that we kind of go through at Black Swan Capital to make an investment decision. Our first view really is the fundamental view. It's a top-down global macro view, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We also look at sentiment, and we also look at technical analysis, obviously. But the first decision for us is always about looking at the fundamentals, because we like to trade with a market view, even if we're trading on the technical side of the fence. Now, granted, if you're trading very short term, your technical analysis is going to outweigh your fundamental analysis. What I mean short term, 1 day, 2 day, intraday, the moves tend to be random and highly technical. But if you're stepping back on an approach which fits well with the FX options, I think you need to layer in more fundamental analysis. And again, that's why I think the fundamental analysis side of the fence and the FX options, the IC FX options, match up very, very well. The point is, it's a piece of the puzzle. And again, it's not the Holy Grail and it's not the whole piece. But in terms of your time frames, if you're longer term trading, intermediate term, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, the fundamentals should weigh a bigger part than the technicals, obviously, because you're buying yourself time to let those fundamentals play out. The shorter term time frame you're trading in, the more the technicals are going to apply. But even if you're a short-term technical trader, I think understanding the fundamentals and the handle on the fundamentals, I think can help that approach, or at least it has for us over the years.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To find more podcasts on options, stocks, alternative markets, and market data, please visit www.ise.com/podcasts.